Hey, what's going on, guys? Got another hardcore TD and Ken Strike for you. This time I finished 35-3, I believe, on Whiteout, as you can see, and also playing a couple guys from the clan with J1 and Dario, and just going off the whole run and gun tip series that I started. Pretty much like the last tip I can think about that would be beneficial to you guys is only relying on yourself. And before I get into that, as always, if there's any other ideas or tips I may have missed or you want to hear about or want to get my thoughts on, as always, feel free to leave me know down in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to do so. But continuing with the last tip, what I mean by only relying on yourself is obviously when you feel that you've kind of like mastered the other areas of your game, where you're consistently able to run it on any map against anybody and put up numbers. Like, obviously you're at to the point to where like you're there, like there's nothing else you have to worry about. So at that point, when you get there, you just got to keep putting in the work to where you don't get rusty and you lose your shot or anything like that. And also, like, sooner or later you're going to run into a group of people, or I don't know, just someone by themselves on the other team where they're absolutely pissed off because they got this shit kicked in and they lost the game. And of course they're going to be like, oh, if you're playing by yourself, you would get your ass kicked, you're only good with a full party, kid, blah blah blah. Like, shit happens all the time. It's fucking annoying but funny at the same time. But what I mean by that, or not what I mean by that, but what they don't seem to understand is that even though I'm playing with a full party or a party of 4 or whatever, is that I'm having to put the work in individually to kick your ass. It's not me standing there and my teammates are getting the kills and it's counting towards my numbers. Like, they can't grasp that fucking idea. It's like, it's me individually kicking your ass, but it's together. Like, we're fucking demoralizing you. We're making it worse than what it is. So, that's what I mean by only relying on yourself. When you're able to play with a full party, smack the shit out of kids, and then they try to, single you out and tell you, oh, you're only good with a full party, you're shit if you're by yourself, and all this other things. When you start hearing that, you're fucking, you're there. So, a couple things that kind of help you get into that mentality of only, putting up numbers by yourself, even though you're with a full party. Because if you're playing with a full party and you don't happen to put in the work, like, it's gonna be fucking boring. Like, this game is boring enough as it is with all the hide and go seek, trying to find all these kids. Let them up their ass, And just like in this game, it's a perfect example. Even though they were losing by like 55 plus or like 60 points, these guys were still camping behind rocks and in the bushes and shit. Like, what's the point? Like, you don't have a high KD, you're not winning, you're not going positive. Just run out there, grab your ankles, take it, and get the game over with. Like, it's fucking stupid. And even though most of these rounds that you play against are complete shit with 0.9 KDs, or maybe a 1.5 is like the average, that's just being nice, but sooner or later you're gonna run into a full team of 6, whether it's a clan or just tryhards or whatever, and sooner or later your teammates will have a bad game to where they can't do anything. They're getting tubed, or the camping is just out of control and they can't adjust to it, or they just getting spawn trapped, blah blah blah. But when you have that mentality of when you only rely on yourself, you don't have to depend on your teammates, then you can kind of get that, okay, well, I'm going to carry them until they can kind of get out of the funk that they're in, so they can get their ass in gear and get their shit together. So that's another reason why it's kind of important to only rely on yourself, because teammates are going to have a bad game, or it's only you doing the work. But some other things you can kind of do to kind of help yourself to get to that kind of that mental point. I know some people are going to kind of take it as being a tryhard 24/7, but like I said before, it's really easy to run on this game. It's just you really have to adjust to the camping. But you can have like a friendly competition between yourselves, because like, for instance, me and Dario, whenever we're playing, I'm always like, oh, I'm carrying your fat ass, random, like, get backpack, who's on top of the leaderboard, this and that and the other. And then he kind of gets to that mental state where he's like, alright, you fucking random, I'm gonna carry your fat ass and this and that and the other. So like, kind of like whatever you have to do to kind of get yourself to that point to really help you, like alright, I'm tired of hardly getting any kills, or I'm tired of getting backpacked, I'm gonna start putting in work and, you know, making these guys get their shit together, or get embarrassed, or, you know, things like that. Obviously other things that, you know, that can happen is when you're playing as a full clan, and if you happen to be in a clan, obviously you're going to want to represent what clan you're in. Obviously you're going to want to do good, because if you happen to lose to whoever you're playing against and you go negative, like, oh man, that's even worse. Like, you're never going to hear the end of it. So obviously you're going to want to win, you're going to want to go positive. So obviously if you're not in the clan, you're going to want to represent yourself anyways, you know what I mean? So those are a couple things that kind of get, you know, that mental area to where you need to be, to where, like, I'm just going to carry everybody every time. So yeah. And hell, it could be a team full of split screeners for all I care. You know, because, you know, with a team full of little kids, because that's all it is if they're split screening. You know, the parents let them at home while they're getting their freak on somewhere, so it's a bunch of little kids playing, and that's prime time to get like a 40 plus or to put in work, you know. And whether you win or lose and you can go negative, it's fucking embarrassing. So yeah, but coming up right here, this one I meant earlier, like, even though they're losing by like 44, he's still sitting in the fucking corner. Like, I don't get it. It's like, I guess this is something about those rounds, like, we will never understand. Like, oh man. But yeah guys, hopefully this commentary was helpful to you. I mean, hopefully you didn't take it in the sense to where, like, I meant it like you gotta be a tryhard 24/7, because that's not how I meant it. And hopefully this series was helpful. And like I said before, if there's anything you want me to talk about or anything else you want to hear, as always, feel free to let me know. But just some information to get out there before this video is over with. I think the next video I'm gonna do is my first double Kim, or first double anything I got in any Call of Duty. I didn't get no double Moabs, no double nuclears. And for this shitty game to be my first double of something, it's, I don't know, I think it's pretty fucking hilarious. And also, I started streaming from the Xbox One, so, you know, I'm on Twitch. So just add me on Twitter or add me on X on the One if you want to be notified whenever I go live. It's nothing fancy, it's just basic shit. I don't have any music playing or none of that fancy stuff like those big Twitch people do. So yeah, feel free to check me out. Just a fair warning, I do cuss from, you know, from time to time, a little bit of rage, so just be prepared if you ever do check out my channel. It's the same as my gamer tag, and I'll leave a link down in the description below. And yeah guys, until next time, peace.